I was doing some research for this video about two songs from the DatPiff mixtape era that never made it to streaming, and it turns out they were both blocked by the same person, John Lennon. So if you remember DatPiff in the mixtape era, you could kind of just sample whatever you want. People were rapping over other people's beats, but you're giving away the music for free, so they didn't really worry about sample clearance. But then some of those artists blew up and they wanted to put some of the old fan favorites on streaming services. So I had two tracks that came to mind where the original mixtape version was not what was on streaming. One was Chance the Rapper and the other was Wiz Khalifa. And then imagine my surprise when it turns out the reason neither of them made it on was the same person. So the first one is Juice by Chance the Rapper off his album Acid Rap. Now if you listen to Acid Rap on Spotify, you'll get a message from Chance that sounds like this.
Hey, so I really wanted Juice to be on the mixtape, but I couldn't get it cleared in time.
So he ended up sampling Donny Hathaway, which is interesting because he's been sampled hundreds of times. But it turns out Jealous Guy was actually written by John Lennon. That sounds a bit like this. And Juice sounds like this. So that one was kind of unique. Everybody knows you don't sample the Beatles, but that one was kind of a roundabout way, and they realized, hey, we're not going to get this one cleared because John Lennon actually wrote it. The second example, Wiz Khalifa's The Statement off Kush and Orange Juice. Now this one's different because they had somebody come in and replay it for the streaming version. To me, it just doesn't hit the same, so every time I listen to Kush and Orange Juice on Spotify, I usually end up skipping this song. I actually recognize this sample from an old A$AP Rock song. Turns out that album is also not on streaming services because Beautiful Boys was written by John Lennon and Yoko Ono. And it sounds a little bit like this. And then the statement sounds like this.
This ain't the life that we chose, but it's the life that we live in.
I think the funny thing about this video is I started with two different songs, kind of the same concept, but they both ran into the exact same issue. Because once you leave that mixtape world, all of a sudden the rules now apply again. You're not giving away the music for free, so you're going to have to get it cleared, especially at the level that these artists attained. Which makes me wonder, are we ever going to get an album like the Grey album again? Let me know in the comments, are there other songs from the DatPiff mixtape era that you wish were on Spotify so you could keep listening to them? Or if you're like me, maybe you still have those songs on hard drives so you can listen to the originals.